Alright, I'm going to do something special here. Next week, we are definitely going to be moving to fretting hand stuff. So this is meant to be like a long-term project. First of all, you got to get it memorized. This is based, I guess, in this case. Hang on, let me B, C, D, E. Technically, this would be like based in the key of E minor because of the baritone tuning. So there's a couple notes in here that aren't gonna technically fit, but it's basically just moving power chords around based off of that key. And then hitting that note at the very end. So you may want to start with that, just memorizing where that left hand is going to go. Yeah, just playing the chords, or even just the first note would be fine too. So, as you see, it's the same rhythm and picking pattern as the last one. So it seemed like 160 was definitely the best, highest speed you were able to show. So this is what I'm thinking. It's like doing this is like a daily thing to where you kind of just play it at a pace that feels natural at that day. And you're just going to really focus on lots of repetition with technique and just making it sound perfect. Make it sound perfect. Make it sound perfect. So, and a couple things, or not a couple things. Let me see here. As far as like having it go at the same speed the whole time, eventually that would be a good thing. Like, you know, making sure you can play the whole thing at 160, and then the whole thing at 165, and then the whole thing eventually, ideally, 180. And yeah, it's a lengthy thing, but that would be, again, the ideal thing, because if you're able to pick 16th notes constantly for at least 4 bars straight while doing some string changes as well, it's going to be very beneficial to putting both the left and right hand changes together. So you could do like a weekly check-in to see how fast you can really push something. So maybe pick the last chunk here, you know, at the end of the week, or even at the end of the day, or something, at least once a week, you know, push that as fast as you can, keep it as clean, you know, it's got to be clean though, see where you can get, and then, you know, you can set a metronome for this, like maybe start at 140, and start cold. I want you to get used to starting cold too. There are benefits to that. It's just like starting off at a tempo that feels somewhat quick to you, but you still have control over it, and seeing if you can just start at a somewhat faster tempo and see if you can make through the whole thing, and just kind of get used to that, and then eventually just move it up a little bit more when you feel ready for that, and then try and, you know, stay at the new speed until that's feeling natural and comfortable, then go up and play that at the new speed until that's feeling comfortable and all that. So since I just mentioned 140, how about we demo that 140? All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can tell it doesn't take too long to do that. So if you can get like a few takes, solid takes, with whatever speed you feel is best for you that day. And again, when I say is best for you, it needs to be controllable, but still pushing your limits a little bit. It can't feel too easy. It has to feel like somewhat of a challenge. Other thing you can do, I know I said like take the last little chunk there like at least once a week and speed that up. If you find that running through what you have there currently is, you know, taking very little time at all to do, then work up that last chunk every day you practice. You can also do this. Start by working that thing up as fast as you possibly can. In fact, that could be a very beneficial thing. Say like you get that last chunk up to, you know, let's say 170. That's the highest you can do and make it sound perfect. Well, maybe back it down to 160 at that point. Spend a few minutes trying to play the whole thing at 160. And if it takes a few minutes and it's clearly not going to happen, we'll try it at 150. And then try that for a few minutes until you can get a perfect take. Kind of, and do it that way. In fact, that might be the best thing to do, is work up that last chunk, get it as fast as you can, and then back it down like 10, and try doing the whole thing for a few minutes. But first, you do need to get it memorized, so that was going to be the big focus there. Memorize the whole thing first before you start working up that last chunk to see like how fast you can do it for the day, and then go into the endurance stuff. So like I said, this is going to be like a long-term thing. So, you know, keep doing this week after week after week after week after week until you're starting to feel more and more comfortable at 180 for the whole thing. So let's do 180. This is the ultimate goal with this thing. There's no time limit on this. Once you just keep hammering away at it, hammering away, hammering away. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Most likely you will be absolutely sick of playing this thing. But sometimes that's what it takes. So yes, next week we will definitely start doing more legato focused stuff. So I know you said there are certain things you can't do with the fretting hand. So if you could remind me of that just one more time. Like, is it the stretch thing? Like, could you do something like 5, you know, like 5 to 8 kind of stretches, things like that? Would that feel okay for your hand? Let me know. And as always, any questions, let me know that too. I will see you in your next video.